Election day, Halloween, though, of course, comes first. And I don't know if you're familiar with the television series The Ghost Whisperer. It was many years ago, but it was wildly popular. And I don't know if you know this, but it was actually the whole series was based on a local woman who can see ghosts. She was, in fact, a top contributor on that show, or top consultant, I should say. I recently sat down with Ann Winkowski, that's her name, and she told me how this all works for her.
I just thought everybody could do it.
It meant this.
I see dead people.
Ann Winkowski says she sees dead people and has been able to do so since her grandmother first noticed it. Ann was just a toddler growing up in Worcester.
All of a sudden, Grandma hears me talking to somebody in the room. She comes in and she just stands in the doorway and she's looking at me, and I'm talking to a corner. There's nothing there. I'm just talking to this corner. And she says, Ann, who are you talking to? And I said, him.
Her grandmother had Ann ask him questions. She'd tell her grandmother his answers. That's when she knew Ann had what she called a gift. By the time she was 4 years old, her grandmother was taking her to funerals, but she wasn't allowed to tell her parents. Did you know why you were going?
No, she says, we're going to go to a funeral.
It turns out they were going so Ann could talk to the person who'd passed.
I walked up to the casket, and I looked up at him, and I looked down at him, and I looked up at him, and I said, hi. And he looked at me, he says, oh, you're the granddaughter. So then my grandmother says, so is he here? I said, yeah. So ask him this and ask him that.
Ann says at a funeral, there's an almost blinding white light surrounding the person who died. She says its purpose is to take them to heaven, but some don't go, and they get stuck here. Why would somebody not go to the light?
People that are murdered. Sometimes they want to know who killed them or try to get the information out there. Couples that are married for 50, 60, 70 years, one's going to wait for the other one.
But Ann says at some point they do want to go to the light and cross over. They just can't find it anymore. But Ann can.
It took me a long time to be able to make that light. I had a pretty good handle on it by the time I was 10, 11.
Ann has been working with clients for decades, helping them understand the human side of the paranormal, offering solace by reuniting them with loved ones who've died or by removing unwanted spirits and negative energy. Were you ever afraid of anything you saw?
No, never. Angry, but never afraid.
Why were you angry?
They need human energy to keep going. If I were to be scared, all I would do is give them more energy. That's how they get energy from most people, by scaring them. So they're not going to get that from me.
She is a tough cookie, and she is fascinating.